And welcome to Odds on Bundesliga, Matchday 13th. The Bundesliga title is in Bayern Munich's pockets, but still a lot to bet on. So let's analyze all the games, of course, with Radek Vegas. With you, remember to leave your comments, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. 13th match day in the Bundesliga. The title is almost for Bayern Munich. Radek, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, and nice to see you in watching us. And we have a lot of interesting games on this game day, and let's have a look and maybe we can find some good value bets.
Yes, let's start on Saturday. We have Augsburg, Hertha Berlin. Hertha, they were thrashed in the derby 1-4 against Union Berlin, so not good for Magath. His only away game in charge of Hertha was a defeat 2-1 against Leverkusen. They are now in direct spots for their relegation, and this is a massive game also for Augsburg. They compete really well in the Bavarian derby against Bayern, and a victory will mean almost salvation for Augsburg.
Yeah, and it was not the first game Augsburg played well. They had a lot of games where they were winning in the last games against Mainz and Wolfsburg and Bielefeld. So yeah, it was not a huge surprise that they made a good job against Bayern Munich despite losing 1-0. That's not bad at Munich. And on the other hand, Hertha, was so disappointing in the derby, and they, really are back on their situation before Magath arrived, and that's, I think, the problem now. But the odds on Augsburg are too bad. They are only 2.0. In a tipping game, I would say Augsburg should win 2-1 or something like that, but betting on Augsburg with odds of 2.0 is too dangerous, because I see Hertha still as a good team with a lot of potential, but at the end, they are struggling hard. What I can imagine is that there will be some goals, because both are likely to, they must win the game, so they are not really into defending like Augsburg did against Bayern Munich. In this game, they have to score and they have to make the game, and also Hertha should contribute to the scoreboard, and that's why I like over 2.5 here. We get odds of 1.9 around. Compare at oddspedia.com, and if you like it, then leave a comment with over 2.5 at this game.
Only one defeat at home in the last 8 games for Augsburg, so really a strong playing at home, but the odds are not great. Then we have Dortmund-Wolfsburg. Finally, Dortmund bouncing back and beating Stuttgart after that defeat against Leipzig. I guess the season for them is almost over. They will finish runner-up of this Bundesliga. And for Wolfsburg, I guess happy days. It was a very difficult season for them, but after that easy victory against Bielefeld, 3 straight victories. No, sorry, they were coming from 3 straight defeats, so now they are completely safe. I guess we should expect a Dortmund victory also here.
Yeah, but the odds with 1.5 are also too low to bet on Dortmund. I would say Dortmund should be back on track, and there will be a lot of goals, because also Wolfsburg can play like they have no pressure again. As you said, they are safe now, not being relegated after a really bad season, which started that good. They were a leader in the standings after 2 or 3 game days, and
Van Bommel.
Then it just went down with Van Bommel being sacked, and now with Kohfeldt, ups and downs, but a little bit improvement. And at the end, I can see a lot of goals here, over 3 goals. You have odds of 1.86. Betting on a Dortmund win is a bit too bad, but Dortmund should score at least 2 goals at home, I think, and Wolfsburg also should maybe score at least 1 goal. So yeah, I would say Dortmund can win this with 3-1 or something like that, and then we have over 3 goals.
Really disappointing the season for both Dortmund and Wolfsburg. Imagine that they started also the Champions League and they were both kicked out of the competition in the group stage. Then better season for sure for Freiburg. Bochum is our next game, still fighting to get into the Champions League spots after that victory against Frankfurt away. Only 3 points from the top 4. Their last home game was that defeat against Bayern 1-4, but they've been very solid the whole season. The problem is that this Bochum is competing great, Radek. Their last game drew with Leverkusen, beat Hoffenheim, so they are dangerous.
Yeah, for sure, but mostly they're dangerous at home, but they managed to win at Hoffenheim, what almost nobody expected. So if they are able to win at Hoffenheim, they also can make a point maybe at Freiburg, but we all know Freiburg is a good team all around with a good defense and only conceded 34 goals, but as well is Bochum. They only conceded 40 goals, and that is really good for a new team in the league. And if you have a look at teams like Leverkusen and Dortmund, they are on spot 2 and 3. They conceded more goals than Bochum did. So this is a game between 2 really great defending teams. They make the most out of it then. And so yeah, we shouldn't expect too much goals, should we? And
no.
Betting on under 2.5 goals gives us odds of 2. That, yeah, but this is not what I like to bet, because we want to see goals in football, and that's why betting on under is kind of lame. And I won't bet on goals in this game. At the end, everything can happen in this game. Freiburg is the favorite, but I think that's not right, because as we've seen that Bochum made a lot of good games, we can maybe bet on Asian handicap on Bochum, but that means betting on an underdog, and I really don't like the odds at all. And in this situation, the last option I see is betting on a draw, because we get odds of 4.2 for a draw. We only have to risk 1/4 of a unit to win 1 unit. And as in a regular game, maybe Freiburg might win, but we don't get a lot of money with it. The risk that Freiburg is not winning is too high for that. And on the other side, betting on Bochum is the same thing. So yeah, let's bet on a draw, 4.2 here. And keep it in mind at the end, because this can be a double 𝐿𝐴𝐶A.
Well, the thing is that we have many options also, as you mentioned, the under, the draw. If you don't want to risk a lot, you can even back Freiburg. Our next game, Mainz, Stuttgart. Here probably is very interesting to check the odds for Mainz. 2.1 to win at home. They are the 4th best team at home in the Bundesliga. Stuttgart only won 1 game away in the whole season. Do you like this, or is it still too low in your opinion?
No, sounds really great. Sounds like a sure thing. Mainz only conceded 8 goals at home. I think it's the best home defense. And they also scored a lot of goals at home with 28 goals in 14 games. I think that's amazing, and especially for a team like Mainz, who always struggled a lot against relegation, and now they are such a strong home team, and we have to respect and admire what Bo Svensson managed to do there, because before he arrived as a coach, Mainz was really struggling year after year, and now he makes Mainz such a great home team. they have a problem when they play away, but this is not the case in this game. And Stuttgart only won one away game, so everything is pointing to a Mainz home win. And as we all know, trends come to an end, and the Bundesliga is kind of hard to predict. And
very hard.
You also always have to consider that there will be surprises. But all facts we've seen now, the odds of 2.0 or 2.1 on Mainz are really good enough. And that's why, yeah, as a single bet, it's okay. If you want to have an 𝐿𝐭𝐴, I would consider Asian handicap 0 on Mainz, because I don't see Stuttgart winning this game, but a draw is always possible. So we get odds of 1.5 on Mainz Asian handicap 0 for the 𝐿𝐭𝐴.
We will get it later. Very hard to predict the Bundesliga because top teams are not performing well this season. For instance, Gladbach, they are playing now at home against Cologne. At least for them, the problems for their relegation are over after also that victory away against Furth. They are in very good form, 10 points out of the last 12. Cologne, they are coming from a great victory. They were losing 0-2 against Mainz. They came back, and perhaps it's true that all the streaks come to an end, but this 2.15 for Gladbach, we know that they have a great squad still, despite all the problems, Radek.
Yeah. Sure, and they are on a streak, as you mentioned, with the 4 games in a row not losing. So yeah, they're back on track, and it's hard at the moment to play against them, I think, and especially at home, Gladbach, yeah, is a bit stronger than away, like most of the teams. And on the other hand, Cologne only won 3 games of 14 on away pitches. So I would say Cologne win is not likely here. Home win for Gladbach or draw, best options both. And I think as we've seen Cologne winning at Leverkusen 2 weeks ago, I think they also have a chance here. But I think a draw is the best option here as well, with odds of 3.8, because yeah, the Gladbach odds are too bad with 2.1 or 2.0, and that's why I would bet with a small amount on this draw and consider Gladbach Asian handicap 0 maybe as an 𝐿𝐿𝐴, as I think they are on a hot streak at the moment, and they won't lose this game, but it's more likely to have a draw.
Back to our draw strategy in this match day. Next game is Bielefeld Bayern Munich. It's always the same thing when Bayern is playing. How serious are they going to take this game, especially after an important Champions League game like the one they are having against Villarreal? They struggle against Augsburg, especially in the first half because of that. But Bielefeld, they are in really bad form. Only 1 point in the last 6 games. They are not the strong team, at least defensively, like we saw in the previous months.
Yes, and they conceded a lot of goals playing away against Wolfsburg 4, against Mainz 4, and they should have no chance at all against Bayern Munich. But in the last 2 games, they really were defending great against Bayern Munich. They only lost 1-0 at Munich, and they had an awesome 3-3 at Munich last season. And maybe they are 200% motivated against Bayern, like almost every team is. And maybe they can profit of the situation of Bayern Munich playing in the Champions League, and they have trouble with Leroy Sané because he's leaving the bench and didn't want to watch the game from the bench after he was substituted against Augsburg, and he's always the last in the practice. And so yeah, maybe this is a problem for Bayern as well, unnecessary at the moment in this stage of the season where the Champions League is running away, because we don't know how they are have played against Villarreal, because we're recording before this game due to a hard schedule of Eduardo, and that's why almost no value for Bayern Munich. And as I always say, betting against Bayern Munich is no option, no matter how high the handicap is. The only thing I can see is maybe Bielefeld might score a goal. That was not a bad bet in most of the games against Bayern Munich in the last time, and that's why both teams to score with 1.9 can be an option. But to be honest, I won't bet also not on this at the moment on Bielefeld, because they were too bad. So I'm sorry, I can't see a really good bet in this game.
And actually, Bielefeld is the team that scored less goals in the Bundesliga, only 23. So it's a bit risky going for both teams to score, but this is the option for you. Then Hoffenheim, Furth in a bad run. Hoffenheim, even their European spot is at risk. 3 consecutive defeats for them after that draw against Bayern Munich. Luckily for them, they are facing Furth, that they got a point against Frankfurt, but it's a team that another team that they don't score at all. So it's good for them, I guess, for Hoffenheim to bounce back and finally win a game.
Yeah, Furth didn't score 3 games in a row, and Hoffenheim also had 3 losses in a row, and kind of a Bayern Munich curse, because they had a 1-1 against Bayern Munich, which was a point against Bayern Munich, leads to a curse that they are not winning the next game, and they didn't, and they losing 3 games in a row against Bochum, Leipzig and Hertha, not the best teams at the moment beside Leipzig. So yeah, Hoffenheim is not in great shape. Betting on Hoffenheim at odds of 1.3 is impossible. You shouldn't do that, no matter how weak you think Furth is. Betting on goals can be an option, but we also get very, very bad odds on over 3.5 goals, only odds of 2. That's not what I like. And betting on both teams to score no can be an option. As you mentioned, that Furth hasn't scored for 3 games, and I really can't see them scoring at Hoffenheim. So this is unlikely that I bet on both teams to score no. But in this situation, we get really great odds of 2.2, something around that. That's why I would risk it in a single bet and hope that Furth is not scoring, or maybe Hoffenheim is also not scoring, no matter who's not scoring, that we can win this bet.
Okay, even perhaps we see a goalless draw. For instance, their last away game for Furth in Frankfurt was 0-0, so why not? Next game, Union Berlin-Frankfurt, interesting one, because Union Berlin, what a season again. It's the second season in a row that they are great. Back-to-back victories against Hertha and Cologne, so they are fighting to qualify for European competitions. Again, at home especially, they are very strong. Only 2 defeats in the whole season, and they are facing Frankfurt after playing at Camp Nou and with no options in the Bundesliga. So perhaps they are distracted, and it's a good chance to back Union Berlin at home.
Yes, and Union Berlin is one of the best home teams. Only 2 losses at home, 6th best home team. And Frankfurt is good away, but as you mentioned, after the Camp Nou game, they won't be in 100% good Bundesliga concentration, no matter how this game ends. That's why Union Berlin should not lose this game. Betting on Union Berlin win is an option, but a bit too dangerous, because Frankfurt is not an easy opponent to play. And that's why I would also consider a draw here. But I won't bet as a single bet here, but I would bet Asian handicap 0 on Union Berlin in a ACCA. So we get odds of 1.55 here. And this is a good option, but not as a single bet, as I don't want to risk a lot of money to just win 30% or 55% of the money. That's not fair in my eyes. Yeah, it's hard to predict how many goals. To be honest, I can see a 1-1 or 2-1, but that's impossible to bet on. That's why I don't. But as an 𝐬𝐭𝐿𝐴, I see Union Berlin not losing, and that's why Asian Handicap 0 is a good thing. And then we can combine it with other Asian Handicap 0 bets.
And the last game is the best one, Leverkusen Leipzig, two Champions League teams. Be careful with Leverkusen because they drew with Bochum and Freiburg, so they are now only 4 points away from Freiburg. So if they lose this game, they will be in trouble. And it's true that also Leipzig, they are playing in Europe against Atalanta, so perhaps they are a bit tired, but away they've been great. Under Tedesco, they won the last 6 away games, and you remember, Radek, that we were saying that they were a disaster when they were traveling.
Yes, and they improved a lot, and also in the all-around standings, now it's the chance for Leipzig even move further, because Leverkusen is just 1 point ahead on spot 3, and Leipzig is on spot 4, 1 point between them. So I think Leipzig is the better team at the moment, and they should be favorite in this game, and they are, but the odds of 2.45 on Leipzig are really, really attractive. But betting against Leverkusen, we have no really argument for that, or no reason to bet against Leverkusen, because they also are strong at home. Only conceded 21 goals at home. Okay, that's not that brilliant, but they concentrate on scoring goals. And Patrick Schick is back again after 2 months of injuries, and maybe this is an important game changer for Leverkusen in this game as well. So I really don't like to bet on Leipzig. I can see Leipzig not losing again. Maybe double chance on Leipzig in an 𝐬𝐿𝐴 with 1.44 is an option. But on the other hand, it's a game where everything is possible, and I would say we also can bet on a draw here. And then we have 3 really good draws, and if just one is right, we make profit. And what do you want more?
All right, Leverkusen at home, they are so-so. They are 8th in the home standings, 4 defeats this season, so perhaps a draw is a good option. Always good odds if we are looking for draws. Radek, you mentioned that we have many options for the 𝐬𝐿𝐴. Let's go with your 𝐬𝐿𝐴 for this week.
Yeah, I would combine 3 games with Asian Handicap 0. All have around 1.5 odds, and in total we have odds of 3.5. If we are combining Asian Handicap 0 on Mainz, Asian Handicap 0 on Gladbach, and Asian Handicap 0 on Union Berlin, because I think these 3 teams shouldn't lose, but in any game on this game day, I feel a lot of danger that there are draws. That's why my second option is combining a double bet with 2 draws. In my eyes, the most likely draws are Freiburg versus Bochum, 4.2, and the other one is Gladbach versus Cologne. I know this is double, but we get odds of 16 if we have draws in both games, and this sounds not impossible for a really nice reward.
Exactly, to spend in Easter in chocolates or whatever you eat in Easter time. Thank you, Radek. See you next week.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
You have now all the tips to bet in this new match day in the Bundesliga for Easter. Let me know about your tips in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to press the like and subscribe. And remember that we have a podcast for you. Bye-bye.